Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. This evening, we have a special guest, Prophetess Janeane Carter. Okay, you're on the air.
Hi, thank you, Brother Emmanuel. What I want your listeners to know today is that I have had a calling on my life ever since I was the age of 16, and I started going into my calling about the age of 30. And now I am currently, to fast forward, working into the mental health field. And in that field, it gives me a chance to give back to my community and to assist people with daily struggles that they struggle with, whether it's anxiety or mental health issues or just daily resources. I also run my own business, Women of Wholeness Ministries, too, and we do provide resources for others. I try to give back and help people that have fallen by the wayside. We help the homeless, we help people that are in need of different things that other services cannot provide, meaning just all around assistance with food and, food banks and things of that nature. And I really try my best to assist others. I know how it is to struggle. I myself am not ashamed to say that I've had money and I've also had to start over on my own. So I understand that there's a lot of people out there that have these types of struggles, but they don't know where to turn and where to go to. Some places, if you do not meet certain criterias, there's nothing that they can do for you. And there's things that happen to us daily. We might go through financial issues, we might go through financial struggles, and we want to have someone out there that can give back and that can help you. Even if you don't qualify, you may have a job or make a little bit too much or things of that nature, and you may not qualify for certain things. But I believe that we all are supposed to help our neighbor. God wants us to love one another and to help each other. So when these things come about, we have to find out what we could do for one another and help each other, because that's what it's all about. It's about loving on one another, helping. And just as I kind of took a look at your video previously and saw how you do wholeness and wellness, there's a lot of things that we can go to prayer about as well, and we could help each other by support. We all need medicine at some point in time, if they're going through an anxiety issue or a depression issue or whatever the case may be, if they have cancer, just for a general example. But there's also prayer as well. We can love on our neighbor, we can pray for our neighbor, and we can provide resources and support. We may not be able to help them out of our own pockets, but we can give back and direct them to someone that can possibly help with whatever issue that they're going through, whether it be a financial issue, whether it be a emotional issue. In my job, I work for a mental health company where I counsel other people and provide therapy for other people. People go through daily struggles every single day, and they don't have anywhere to turn to. They don't have anyone to talk to. And pastoring 9 years in my ministry, it's given me a chance to kind of talk to people, to meet people where they are, to give back, to just be able to talk to them and find out what their needs are, find out how they are as a whole. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to give back to people, to help people with their daily struggles. There's so many people in life that struggle silently, and we don't know anything about these people. We don't know their struggles. We don't know what they've been through. I've come across several people that are actually homeless, sleeping in tents. And, that's one of my missions in life, what God's called me to do, to empower others and find out what I can do to help other people. You know, I'm not better than the next person out there. So I definitely want to help my neighbor. I definitely want to uplift my neighbor, love on my neighbor, and assist them in any way possible. And that's one of the things that I really, really took into consideration when building Women of Wholeness Ministries too. I wanted to be able to give back, whether it was man or woman, to be able to assist them with the things that they struggle with, to be able to find resources, whether it's paying a bill, whether it's struggling with food, however we could help, whether it's even finding them shelter. It doesn't cost us anything to look up a number and to provide a resource, even though we might not be able to personally do it out of our pockets. But when God gives you a specific calling, you have to follow suit with that and give back to your community and give back to your neighbor. And that's what I try to do. My motto is treat others the way I want to be treated. So that's one thing that I really, really take to heart. I really try to treat others the way that I want to be treated. I really try to love on people and to try to be an understanding person because we all go through and it has no date on when we may go through something. So we have to really, really take in consideration other people. We never know where we're going to be at in life. You can have it all one day and you might go through some financial struggles the next day. So with my company, I really, really want to give back to those people that struggle in those areas. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a permanent struggle. It may be only a temporarily thing, but I know God conquers all. God is the answer to everything. And so through daily prayer, God has led me into doing this thing. That's what gives me fulfillment, helping others, being there for others, giving an uplifting hand. I know all too well what it means to be on the upside and what it means to struggle. And we have to really, really help others because we don't know where we're going to be at in life. So, we have to provide whatever resources we can provide and be there for people the best way that we know how. And in doing what I do every single day, giving people therapy, counseling people, just providing resources for people, it gives me a fulfillment. It fulfills that void in my life. It gives back to people. And that's what I've been called to do by Jesus Christ is to just treat my neighbor the way that they want to be treated, to just love on them. And it's not hard to do. Like I said, I've been in the ministry for 9 years, and we have Bible study on Tuesdays. I preach Sundays, sometimes two services. But that gives me the fulfillment because every time I preach a word, that's pouring something back into someone. We never know. It could be someone out there that's giving up hope. They could be, just feeling helpless and not know where to turn. So ministry coincides with what I do in my own personal business. And I thank God that He's given me the opportunity and the chance to just do what I'm doing. I love it. I wouldn't take it back for anything in the world. I love my ministry. You know, it's very fulfilling to me. It's an honor being a woman of God doing what God has called me to do. So I really, really am grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on your show as well, to give back, to just have the chance to speak and to tell the listeners everything that I want to get out, everything about the business, everything about daily struggles. We never know where we're going to be at in life. We just never know. But I thank God that I have the opportunity to give back to everyone, and that it will be a blessing to someone that hears this, just to know that they're not out there alone, to know that you can make it, to continue to put one foot in front of the other and to pray about things. Always keep God first. God answers all prayer. He always comes when we need him. So that's the thing that we have to keep in mind. Faith is the substance of things unseen. So we just have to keep that in mind and just continue to press forward. So I'm just thankful on today. Just like I tell people every Sunday, we never know where we're going to be in life. So we just have to live our lives and be thankful and grateful for every opportunity that we have. So I'm just thankful on today. And I hope that my testimony and everything that I've been through personally help someone else, because then I've done my job by giving back to help someone else to know that there's someone out there that's listening. There's someone out there that cares, to just put them in a better headspace, because there are a lot of people that I see in mental health that suffer silently, and we know nothing about these people. We know nothing about people that are homeless. There are so many people that are not even actually on paperwork. So, I see a lot of these people when I go out to stores, everywhere. And it's not just these people. I've been without money at times. So I know how it is to have to restart over and to do things. So I'm just thankful on today that I can speak to the listeners and let them know, whatever you're going through, you will get through it. And that it just doesn't stop with you. Just continue to worship the Lord and continue to stay in your faith, and things will get better. So at this time, I thank you for the opportunity. I am currently still, like I said, I run a prayer line which people can inbox me on through Messenger, and I have my WhatsApp number up there. They could look me up under Kingdom Work and follow me. I'll be glad to message them back. I'm grateful and thankful to everybody. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. There's just been a lot of people that have been messaging me and everything. So I just want the listeners to know, if I take a day or so to get back to you, don't charge it to my heart. I'm working hard to get back with you, building the business, and I'm just thankful for everything that God's been doing. So, Brother Emmanuel, I thank you, and I love you with the love of God. And I will now turn the show back over to you.
Thank you, woman of God. And I just want to mention to you again, whenever you feel led about coming on this platform, just let me know. You're more than welcome to do so.
Thank you so much.
Now, can you please stay on the line with me for a moment before
I
I,
will. Thank you.
yeah, before I end this podcast? Well, I do want to encourage my listeners to know that this is what the grassroots community activist movement is all about. We're about networking with ordinary law-abiding citizens. We're not looking for celebs or celebrities, because they give a mirage about how life is. They want to front all their, being flashy. There's how successful they are. They are. All the money they have and all that kind of stuff. But that's fine and dandy. But if you're not helping your fellow man, what good is that? And it's actually, I would say, the ordinary citizens that's supporting them. You all are the ones that's keeping them rich. But you want to overlook people that's doing these nonprofits in the community. A lot of those organizations are struggling. And so we have to put our priorities, in place. And so that's what I want to do with my Christian business. I want to give the youth an opportunity to be in my Black empowerment films, and for us to, generate capital from those films to help improve the African American community. That's all. Starting here in the city of Chicago. And I also want to reach out to the African immigrant community to be a part of us, to help build this thing. I also want to reach out to the, I would say, the Afro-Brazilian community, the Afro-Latino community, the Afro-Caribbean community, to be a part of this. Work with me, because there's no middleman. And yes, once we get this film project fully funded and made, and the proceeds start pouring in, then it's going to put me in a better position financially, where I can hire qualified Black middle class professionals, African immigrants, as well as African Americans, to help me manage this Christian business, which is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. And we want the global African community to know that we exist and we're trying to do something positive instead of all that negativity that's out there being spun by mainstream media. Yes, a lot of that stuff is true that's in the media. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy about all the negativity that goes on in the African American community, but it's two sides to a story. And that's what I want to be able to do through my Christian business, is to show that counter narrative, to actually take back that narrative. Everybody in the inner cities aren't selling drugs and hardened criminals. You have law-abiding citizens that live in those, I would say, inner cities, low income. And a lot of them, it's not their fault, because it got something to do with how the white supremacist financial elites, they organize that stuff, because they're the ones that designed the system in the first place. They're the ones that did redlining. Black people didn't create the ghettos. Black people were forced to stay in the ghettos because of quote unquote Jim Crow. All of this information is in my revised book, The Solution for Black America. But unfortunately, a lot of our people don't want a solution. My book has been on Amazon for 11 years and it's still barely selling. Isn't that a shame, woman of God? I'm trying to do something positive for our racial group, and yet I'm being overlooked, laughed at. A lot of people want to mock me. I'm like, what the heck? I'm up here trying to do something positive for our people. So this is why I created my platform. I have a virtual store. I'm trying to sell items on there. It takes capital to start a business. Although I am paying out of pocket for my nonprofit, the business title, but shucks, since 2010. So that's a long time. So now I'm at a point where I'm saying, shucks, what can I do, Lord? I'm trying to be obedient and do the vision that you have given me. I wrote the vision and made it plain so people could read that. So I don't have to waste time trying to explain what's already written in my revised book. But I'm like, well, what more can I do? And so the Lord placed in my heart, turn that book into a film, so that way we can reach the global community. And that's what I'm trying to do. Again, I can't make people buy my book. It is what it is. But this is how come I do commentary. This is how come I, post all the time. And I used to do audio, I would say podcasts. But now I'm saying, shuck, let me do video podcasts so people can see me. And sometimes, yes, I read my speeches without shame, and I'm going to do that this week too. I'm working on some material, and I am going to be reading that. And my critics want to sit up here and criticize, say, "Oh, you sound monotone and this and that." And I'm like, hey, the bottom line: purchase my revised book, read my story for yourself. If you agree with what I've written in my revised book, then come on the show and let's talk about that. Also, donate to our film project. It's on our GoFundMe page. You can find the links in the comment section below this video podcast. That's why I'm going to have the links in there. If you're a U.S. citizen and you donate through our PayPal page, you can use that as a tax write-off, because this is a legitimate 501c3. You see, what I'm going to do in my Christian business, I'm going to teach the youth and other people that's serious how to start a nonprofit as well as how to start a for-profit business, because I know how to do those things. That's part of the skills that the Lord has blessed me with. And that's one of the things that we're going to do. We're also going to get into real estate. That's how come I want to make sure I hire Black middle-class professionals. So we want to get into real estate so we can have community housing. We also want to get into the healthcare, having a community healthcare, and we're going to own those things because this is going to be a nonprofit slash a for-profit business, and it's going to be in the heart of the African American community. And we want to compete. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention too. We're also going to have a grocery store, so we can have a community grocery store because everybody have to have food. But what we want to do is do our best to teach our youth that they don't have to, give up on life. That they don't have to be a criminal. They don't have to sell drugs and all that kind of stuff. Because that's what the enemy wants them to. I would say become that, so that they can fill those school to prison pipelines, and we want to break that over here. Now I want to do all that stuff here in the here in the city of Chicago before we expand to Africa, because we want to take this vision and bring it to the African continent and expand to 10 African nations. Because Emmanuel Barbee is not trying to hide behind a computer. I just lack, two main things: the manpower and the capital. But that's how come I created this platform to, broadcast what I'm trying to do. And once we're over there, we want to do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent and replicate the organization over there. And that's going to be called the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Africa. But it's going to start here in Chicago first, and hopefully, God's willing, and it's up to, Black Americans, if they're serious about this, we can expand it to other cities here in America. But I don't want to waste time. Again, I've been pushing this for 31 years. So because of, all that unnecessary rejection that I had to endure, what we're going to do over here is that we're going to raise the bar. That's what I mean when I keep doing this in my videos. I'm not trying to throw up no gang signs or anything, because we're not about that. We're about raising the bar. So in other words, everyone that, once we have that physical building on the west side of Chicago, and we're going to invite, the community to come in to, let them know that we're there to serve them. But we are also going to have standards. So in here, we're going to separate ourselves from degenerates, urban terrorists, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, anyone that's people that want to try to undermine us. We're not having that up in there. So we're going to screen people. People got to pass our criminal background check. People got to sign that community pledge, because I come before everyone with clean hands. I'm not running for public office. My focus is on trying to strengthen the Black family and make our presence known in the African American community. That's all. And so again, yes, we want to make sure we want to make sure we don't have con artists. I don't want to get ripped off, and I don't want none of my members to get ripped off. And those that's going to become members, my pledge to them is that once we have our support system in place, we're going to invest in our youth to help them reach their life goals, woman of God. That's what God has called me to do. Now, unfortunately, I don't have no Black churches in Chicago that was willing to work with me for the past 31 years. That's not cool at all. But mark my words, once I start making money in this Christian business, everybody in Chicago going to play like, oh, hey, I want to be a part of this. But I'm still let people know they're going to have to be vetted up front. The standards that I'm talking about right now, that's how it is in real life. That's what we're going to make happen. And I'm going to continue to tell people, yes, it was Black America that rejected my vision, and Black Chicago that rejected my vision and plan for the past 31 years, and ain't nothing changed over here. So with that being said, I love our people. But again, I want to connect with serious Black people that's going to work with me and Sister Renee. And we're going to reward those people. Those that's going to try to undermine us, we're going to have like I say, protocol in place, because I want people's thumbprints, so that way I can see who's doing what in the business. We're going to have a spiritual component for people to, get help them develop a relationship with God and everything. But we're not going to be beating people upside the head about, oh, you got to get saved. You got to get saved, because that's a personal relationship with God. You have any questions for me, woman of God?
No, I guess if anything, if I had anything to add, I would just say that um, for me, I just try to meet people where they are. I really do. Um, in my personal business, it doesn't matter, and I'm just speaking for me. I respect other people's wishes and other people's opinions. I respect that to the utmost. But for me, I just want everybody to pull together as a community and work together, regardless of the color, regardless of the beliefs. I believe that we can love our neighbor and pull together for God, for Jesus Christ. We all have that common denominator. And, I believe if they do that, then everything will come together. Even in the business that you're building, it would all come together if we work together as a whole.
Amen. I want to piggyback kind of what you said too, because in my Christian business, non-Black sympathizers, they're welcome to join us, but not as groups, but as individuals, because of our history here in this country, because of that slavery situation, because of that white supremacy mess that's still going on here in America. So non-Black sympathizers are welcome to join us. Again, not as groups, but as individuals. If they don't, those people that they don't have no issue about us getting our reparations, then that's fine, cool. They can join us. But if they have an issue about reparations, no, they can't be a part of this. I do want to stress this too. Our focus in this organization is to solve Black issues. Point blank. That's what God is doing. That's why I want to work with the Black families that's having all these some broken homes that's hurting. We want to help solve those things if they come to our organization. We're going to provide the resources through the business. But people are going to have to come with clean hands. That's all I'm saying. Don't try to come here trying to run the game and trying to, con us out of things, out of resources. That's not happening. Not on my watch. And we won't have any corruption either in my business. That's why I'm going to have that protocol in place. This is also representing, as far as I'm concerned, this is more than just a new business endeavor. This is going to be a quote unquote a new system that we as Black people are going to build from the bottom up. Yes, those people in power, I would say in the White House and all that kind of stuff, the leaders and all that stuff, they very powerful and all that. But they still need our votes and stuff like that. We have to realize we have the power. You're the ones that's electing these people to take advantage of us. The Democrats, they have failed Black America. Black Americans have been voting for them for 60 years. And yet we're not getting nothing out of the deal. We have to, demand tangibles. We have to demand that they give us an anti-Black hate crime bill, because look at what happened in Florida. That situation, that wasn't good. And also, most of all, they have to give us lineage-based cash payments, reparations for descendants of American slaves. Now, the way I feel about all that is that shucks, I mean, we want to build ourselves up, because it takes capital and all that stuff, but I can't tell people what to do, to each his own. But as for me and my claiming my ancestral homeland, Africa, that's how come I want to go to South Africa. I'm going to apply for dual citizenship, and I'm going to lead by example by doing that. Not just sitting up here talking and saying, saying this stuff behind the computer. I want to make that happen. Get that business over there, because I want to bring my talents over there, and help the motherland, help improve the African economy. Everybody not going to be able to leave the United States. I'm just saying of African descent, and also we don't want the Pinky and Ray Rays over there, but I'm just saying. But yeah, Black people in America have been marching and protesting since the 60s, woman of God, begging the white supremacist financial elite for freedom, justice, and equality. And still, we're still being treated as third and fourth class citizens. Over here, I'm like, hey, man, sorry. I'm like, hey, forget that. Let's work together. Travel to the motherland, and we want to let South Africa know that, hey, we're willing to help solve, those. I forgot what they call it. Load shedding. That's what like rolling blackouts. We want to help solve that there in exchange for citizenship. So hopefully they'll be. I'm just saying we want to use our talents to see if they can work with us in that area. So if they do that, and then that's a win-win for us, and then we can expand it to other African nations. Bring our talents. That's all, woman of God. But again, I know when we talk about religion, sometimes we get caught up with the kumbaya. Everybody else is getting, resources from this Democrat administration except Black people, and it's not cool. So over here, I'm carrying with that kumbaya. I want to advocate for our people. I want to finish up what Dr. King has left off with was, he was pushing for reparations for Black people / I would say descendants of American slaves. That's why he ended up getting assassinated. His last 2 years of life. Now everybody else in the country, they're benefiting off of our struggle, in terms of like during the civil rights movement, like let's say quote unquote affirmative action. That didn't benefit Black people because the white supremacist financial elites, they put in the clause quote unquote minority. So all these other people that weren't slaves, they ended up benefiting off of our struggle. So that's how come reparation belongs to us, because it was our people that helped build up this nation in the first place. So, woman of God, I don't have. I'm not. I would say spreading, a hate message and all that stuff. I love people and stuff. But the only thing is, I'm just keep it real. I'm focusing on solving Black issues. That's all I care about. And that's what I'm called to do. Love everybody.
Brother Emmanuel,
Yeah, I'm just saying, but, if your house is on fire, you got to put out that fire at your own house first before you can help others. That's how come the white supremacist financial elite, they're letting all these illegal immigrants come in to replace, Black people for resources. That's how come I'm saying, you guys got to wake up. Look at the writing on the wall. It's going to get worse for Black Americans. in this country?
Well, I respect other people's opinions, but I've learned from me, I stay out of the personal political views and, you know, I just stay out of that.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's just for me, as far as speaking for me. I always respect someone else's opinion, but I just, for me personally, I always preferred to stay out of, talking about my political views or, what I personally believed in. I just believe in coming together, the world coming together as a whole, regardless of the race or regardless of the nationality. That's just what I believe in personally. You know, God is not going to ask me what color somebody is before I go and help them. Or I'm just speaking for me. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. They're entitled to how they feel and what they believe in. It's just, for me, from my standpoint.
Amen. And that's beautiful. But I mean, this is in the Bible, Luke chapter 2, verse 1. Caesar Augustus was a white supremacist. That wasn't really from God at all. His mission was to steal, kill, and destroy. That's what he did, through his
And
system.
that's what the enemy does in general. We know that. So
that's what his system is all about. That's what capitalism is all about. I reject this system. So that ain't got. Yeah, I mean, I know. Yeah, racism and stuff, but that it is what it is. I mean, it's hard. When that's the balance situation where talking about trying to love everybody. Yeah, God tells us to love our enemies. He does.
and I say this from this standpoint, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, Brother Emmanuel, because I can honestly say this. I have been in shelters previously before, out of town, and I'm telling you, I've been in there with all types of races, so I understand how it is. That's why I say for me, it doesn't matter for me what color somebody is because I've seen somebody struggle right beside me that was the opposite color. So it has no color on it. We all can go through things. We all can have a personal struggle. We all can have an emotional struggle, whatever the struggle may be. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. And God's brought me from a mighty long way. I told you I had a 4 or 5 bedroom home. I started back over, completely over. In doing so, when I was out of town, like I said, I've seen women in there with me, single women, all types of races. It has no,
I
you
hear
know,
what I hear what you're saying, but also we have to look at what I'm saying too. I don't want urban terrorists up in our business because they're no different than the racist people in the first place.
oh yeah, and you're entitled to your own individual right, of course, yes. And then,
Yeah,
if something's yours, if it's
they're
right.
melanated. They up here killing our people. All right. Is there anything else you want to say, woman of God?
No, you're a go-getter, Brother Emmanuel.
Yeah, I love our people. And
Everybody has their,
I love people and I love everybody, but I just I
yeah.
want people to be honest and not trying to play games. That's all I care about. And over
Oh
here
yeah.
in my Christian business, we're going to be drama free. We gotta,
Yeah.
as black people, melanated people, we have to heal from this legacy of slavery. We got to heal from that Willie Lynch mentality because that's what's trying to hold me down. Woman of God, before I close, it's not white people that's giving me pushback, it's black people. They're the ones that's not buying this book. They're the ones that ignored my vision for the past 31 years. Black people. And I'm trying to help our people. But again, that's what
One thing that I have
that's
discovered
a
about this world is sometimes just in some cases, I believe that sometimes it kind of goes beyond, even the color. I think that most of the time when we try to better ourselves sometimes and we try to do things on our own and just not want the average 9 to 5, sometimes it just becomes like strange fruit to some people. And that's the reason why, we don't get the support that we need or this, it, but like I said, I believe that there's somebody for everybody because I personally have found more support in strangers than I have with people that I absolutely knew. And I love people for that. I've had so much love shown to me by complete strangers. So I believe that your tables will turn. I believe that they will buy your book. I believe that your company will be ran just as you want it to be ran. You know, um, God will change things around for your good. But you will find support in people that you don't know. That I can tell you.
man, I agree. All right, I guess with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pray and close this out. Again, I want to encourage all of my listeners that's on my Facebook friends list. If you have a business, if you are an author, if you got special skills, if you're a Black business owner, connect with me so that way you can come on this platform. That's why I created this. So that way you can get your message out there to the global community. Over here, we're not about I'm gonna say speaking hate and all that stuff because life is too short to be going through unnecessary drama. God put us on this earth to enjoy. Yeah, we're gonna have some good days and bad days, but I'm just saying if it's always drama, that's not good. So we want to again, we want to help improve what's going on in the inner cities. That's why I entitled my podcast "Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos," because that's where I came from. Those high crime, gang, and drug infested communities. And I was like, I didn't plan on want to go back. And I wrote that in the book. I just wanted to be a physician assistant. But the Lord placed in my heart. This is what He wants me to do. But He didn't tell me who He was going to have to help assist me because this is a Nehemiah assignment. I can't do all this kind of stuff by myself. This is a Nehemiah assignment, and this is going to perform. This is going to help. It's going to take a miracle for this to manifest. And so I still have a little energy left for this because I am getting burned out. 31 years is like a jail sentence, but I'm willing to do this because this is what God has placed me here to do. And I always like to succeed at what I do and fight as hard as I can to the fullest to make it become a reality. That's the kind of guy I am. And again, I come before everybody with clean hands. That means there's no scams, there's no schemes. This is just authentic. Woman of God, is okay for you to put down your speaker a little bit because I think I'm getting an echo on your end.
So if you need to reach me, I am on Facebook under Kingdom Work. I am on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is 252-617-7663. If you wish to donate to Women of Wholeness Ministries 2, our Cash App is $WOH Ministries 2.
All right. Is it okay if you cut down your volume a little bit? I'm hearing an echo.
Yes. Is that better?
Yes. Heavenly Father, I come before you as humble as I know how. Thank you again, Lord Jesus, for another podcast. I pray, Lord, that people will give their life to you, Lord, because life is just temporary. And again, you gave us an opportunity to this planet through the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. We want to help improve the this world, starting here in America, working in those high crime, gang, and drug infested communities, trying to help our youth, Lord, do something constructive. We want to build something constructive for them, give them outlets that they can come to, provide basic resources for them to have, and also to host African tours, Lord, so that way they can see the world beyond just what's going on here in the city of Chicago, that this is a great big world that you have. We want to make our presence known on the African continent. We want to make our presence known throughout the Caribbean and also in Brazil. We want the young people to hopefully win them back to you through our Black empowerment films. Show the world that all Black youth are not criminals and drug dealers, con artists. We want to show the best. That's what you called me to do based on my experience. And I'm not looking for corporate people to support me because they have hidden agendas. I want the communities to support me, the grassroots, because that's where this organization is all about. So thank you again for the opportunity to use this technology wisely. Let it be a blessing to others. Touch non-Black sympathizers, Lord, to patronize what we're trying to do, because we want to make a positive impact, not just sitting behind a computer, just talking, running off at the mouth. I pray for peace in this world. I know you talk in your word that it's going to be wars and rumors of wars, but again, I just want to express peace, Lord, throughout this country here in the United States and around the world. Pray for peace over there and between Russia and Ukraine. I pray for peace in Africa, the wars that's taking place in Cameroon, other places in Africa that I don't know about, that wars is taking place, but just let peace abide. And again, just bless me to get this film project fully funded and made so that way I can do everything that you called me to do on this planet. And I want the devil to know that I'm not afraid of him and he's not welcome in this Christian business once it's up and running. And we are ready to make our presence known, starting here in the city of Chicago. I pray, Lord, that you will touch the hearts and minds of African immigrants within the United States to come forth to work with me and Sister Janeane to help speed up the process so that I don't have to be doing this another 31 years. The devil is a lie. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. And that's going to conclude our show for today. Thank you all for listening. Peace and blessings.